Well, you know we like vampire movies over here at Fade to Black.
You are
True,
correct.
this is our third.
So this is our third. I feel like we haven't done more?
We have Ganja and Hess,
Wow.
Sinners.
We sleep.
And this.
Well, I know I love me a black vampire movie. We talked about some Sinners a while back. Now we're going to talk about, the black vampire. I'm not going to call it the black vampire movie, but,
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Fade to Black podcast. It's your boy, David Dunnington. Dunnington is how you spell it. Just to remind everybody every once in a while. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy whatever you want to, however you celebrate that. Here's how you can celebrate it. Blood and violence. We're talking about Blade, featuring Wesley Snipes, written by David S. Goyer.
I'm getting a little tired of chopping you up. Thought I might try fire.
Look, I'm trying, really, I am.
It's over.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Give my regards to Frost.
Today, I'm with Sonny and Imani. And in the time that this is being released, these episodes are months apart. But in real time, as we have been recording these episodes, we have back-to-back watched Sinners, talked about it, and Blade, and talked about it. I think Imani did too. Watched Blade again this morning.
Yes.
I wanted to. I was doing dishes.
It was. I've seen it before. I remember I watched it a long time ago, like when I was in college, late at night. I've seen it as a kid, and I watched it in college, like, oh man, this is sick, and like appreciating like the aesthetics of it. And I really do appreciate the aesthetics of it this time, in the history of, what Blade kind of means in Hollywood. And I've always wanted to chat with you guys about it. I've learned some. As of even fucking yesterday, I learned some really not so fun things about
Mr. Weston.
people in Blade, maybe even playing Blade.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that maybe. God, son of a. Anyway,
Brave dog.
first let's do what we do. Does anybody want to go give their I'm at a bar and I'm talking to somebody about Blade who doesn't know anything about it? Explain this movie. You don't have to give the historical context of anything. Just like the movie by itself.
Well, so homie, we're sitting at this bar. I'm gonna tell you about this vampire movie. You have Blade, who is the titular character of this film. He is a self-hating vampire who kills other vampires because he thinks they're less than, and with the help of this white man who is not a vampire, and some stuff is happening. They end up meeting a hematologist, is that what she's called, a blood doctor, who gets
women in
bitten.
STEM.
Black women in STEM.
Get into it. Love to see it.
Love to see it. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, we'll get there. Anyway, she's in the hospital. The movie had started off. There was like a bloodbath. They were at the club partying, having a good time, minding their business. And Blade comes in, the hater he is, and starts killing everybody. And so one of these vampires, he's like burnt alive, ends up at the hospital, and they're like looking over at this burnt corpse, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is like so crazy. He's like burnt. He comes back alive, and he bites this black lady. This black Karen is her name.
Yes.
Bites her, and Blade shows up at the hospital to like finish him off. Karen ends up, learning who Blade is and meets his like homie, Abraham Whistler, I think is his name, who is helping him on this mission to kill other vampires. And we're also kind of learned that this dude has like come up with some type of like injection for Blade so that he doesn't have to suck blood like those other suck heads, as he calls them. He even has a slur for them. It's crazy. And she kind of like, because she's a hematologist, she's like, I got some ideas for stuff. And we also learn that like there's this white dude, what's his name, like Darren something Frost.
Oh, what is his name? He's played by Stephen Dorff.
Yes.
And he's having the time of his life, you can tell.
He is. He is. This was his club, that Blade.
Deacon Frost.
Deacon Frost.
Thank you. Deacon Frost.
I was like, I know it's Jack Frost, but I know it's not Jack.
I was like, it starts with a D. And so he is like pretty powerful in the vampire world, but he's not really respected because he wasn't like born this way. And they have like a hierarchy in the vampire world. But he has like this plan where he's gonna like summon the blood god and be like the most powerful vampire, I guess. And him and Blade go head to head throughout the movie. And you know, with the help of Karen, they like come up with this like concoction that makes vampires explode when they're injected. It's actually really gross. And once again, it's just like, damn, he is really irritating. And yeah, like you end up finding out that like Blade's mom was like alive, because we had thought this whole movie that she like died like during childbirth, but really she was alive, and she's like the lover of Deacon, and there was some weird incestuous stuff going on with Blade. It's like she forgot, oh yeah, the mom was played by Sanaa Lathan.
True.
And yeah, because it's the 90s, it's like, you know, who is the top black actress of the decade? It's going to be Sanaa. I mean, you can argue other people, but I'm just like, Sanaa got in the words of Maxwell, check the numbers, bitch. Like, she was really at the top. And so
she got brown sugar. What else we gonna do?
She got brown sugar. She got Best Man. She got The Wood. I'm like, she got Love and Basketball. It's like,
yeah, that's
stacked.
She's it.
She is it. She is the it girl. And yeah, but she's also like Team Deacon. She really don't give a fuck about her son, and so they like tried to bleed him to death, and Karen ends up saving him and by like letting him suck her blood. And he then is like charged up to go fight Deacon, and you know, he is able to beat him and continues on his mission of being self-hating. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the movie? I know, Imani, there's definitely some, you had some little jabs in there at our man Blade.
And it was like the first time I really saw it for that. I will say it was like watching this movie I've seen it before, but like this go around, I was like,
oh, this was my first time.
This is your first time seeing it, Sonny?
Yeah, it was.
And I know you're not a super horror gore person, but how was it?
It wasn't super horror gory at all. Or at least not in a way that feels like grotesque. Yeah, I feel like I use like Tarantino's Kill Bill as like a bar of like, this already feels ridiculous enough for me that I'm like, I can commit to what's happening here. So I'm like,
sure.
The exploding, bubbling faces. I'm just, it's like very CGI. So I'm like, okay. Dude's whole hand disappeared. And he's just like standing there with these like glowing eyes as it regrows. But I'm just like, you thought you looked so cool, but I thought it was kind of like slower pace than I was anticipating. Also, like, I knew Blade was like Black Vampire, but somehow I also put him in mind as like Black Vampire Slayer. So to have the reveal that he was like half vampire, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then it did get really weird when it got incestuous. Like when we do find his mom, and it wasn't like the whole breakdown that I thought it. I didn't really feel like such a connection between the two of them, because it seemed like he had already gotten over her.
Yeah, and the same for her.
Yeah. Like for her to just appear as the same woman that she was, just with longer hair, and now she's like trying to rub up on him. It's like, whoa, girl.
No, seriously.
That's a lot. This is weird. She's like, your mother died a long time ago. I am Sanaa. We can be whatever because you are half of me. And I'm like, ooh, this is so. It makes sense for him to just like want to murder her and then go kill every other vampire because he did say something about like he was only keeping himself alive because of the half of himself that is human. So he's like fighting for like some goodness because otherwise like the vampire part of himself would just like he wouldn't give a fuck. So I guess like so that doubles down on this self-hatred because he is fighting to eradicate his entire species.
Well, maybe.
He did look badass doing it though. There was some times where I'm like, he looked cool. He looks cool.
So I want to get into like some just light history of Blade in the comics and his history as a character. But before that, just Wesley Snipes. Before we get to him as a person or anything, even it's the second. This is my first time really watching, like really looking at Wesley Snipes' performance and his mannerisms. And I don't know if this is like problematic to say, but this man is like Blade autistic as hell. Like,
I mean, probably.
it's just like think of like the black kid you knew that was like running around all crazy with like Naruto style. Yes. If that kid actually grew up to kill vampires, that's Blade in this movie. Yeah. And like the way he'll be like the way he like kills someone, just go like. You know what I mean? Like he'll just like pump his fist like an anime or something. And the fact that I mean, I'm not one to talk about like, you know, having hair all right or anything, but like he has like his haircut doesn't have a fade. It's just a hard ass line.
Nobody pulled that out. He was like, they couldn't give my man a fade.
That shit was crazy.
They just glued that shit to his head.
Yes. He's got these like crazy motorcycle. He's more of a biker than like anything else. And so like, you know, do you guys know anything about like the history of Blade and the comic books at all? Or
not really. I watched a little breakdown.
So I know some light history just from like viewing stuff as a kid, and because like Blade shows up in like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon that we all love. That was my first time seeing him. I didn't really connect that they were the same person for a while, but I remember like, oh, the black guy on the motorcycle fights Morbius is sick. But that was a lot of Blade's like. And Imani, feel free to chime in if you have any like more fun facts. Honestly, the way I'm like this look like you know a lot of shit right now. But as far as I know,
the first Blade appeared in a Spider-Man. I do know that.
Well, actually, no, not even. No, it's like he was in the comics. He appeared in something called the Tomb of Dracula, and the Tomb of Dracula is like in like the 70s, and it was like a horror series that Marvel released, and he would like fight all like him, and Morbius was created through that. I know Morbius is more now like associated with Spider-Man, but Morbius was like created through this Dracula-esque character also that was in Tomb of Dracula, and
Spider-Man.
Some people who's read it are going to be like, "What the hell?" But they fight the X-Men. They fight like a few other people, but Blade is a character in there that is like reappearing that. Originally doesn't have powers. He is just a guy who kills vampires, and his original outfit's like he's got a green jacket and yellow sunglasses and like a yellow knife, and I kind of want to see if they adapt that at some point. But anyway, you should look it up, like the old 70s Blade. But like like even like a character like Deacon Frost and that being his dad, or essentially his dad, or the guy who made him a vampire, that is true to comics and stuff. And I think what happened in the 90s is like, you know, he got more popular in the 90s because a lot of more horror comics and stuff were getting popular in the 90s, and that was more of the Morbius Spider-Man interaction as far as I know. And then I think a producer just liked Blade as a character, and they greenlit a movie. And this movie is not only pre-X-Men and Spider-Man, it's pre-Matrix. Now, in the timeline that they both released, it's impossible that like the Matrix fucking copied Blade, but like Matrix is 99, Blade is 98. It's crazy that aesthetic that we associate with the Matrix, that is like popularized by the Matrix, is really kind of started by Blade. With the black leather, like the black leather superhero costume, the shades, like all that
modern,
And I do know they were even considering Lawrence Fishburne to be Blade at one point, and then they just went with Wesley Snipes, and they were like, "It's alright, Lawrence Fishburne got his leather through the world anyway."
He totally could have done it.
Yeah, he could have. Well, I was gonna say, I know that in the comics, like Blade is. So it's like interesting that he's self-hating, right? Because in the comics, Blade is meant to be biracial. He's meant to be. Have like a black mother, and a white father.
Yeah.
So it does kind of feel like this is like some type of allegory, I guess. They're like trying to talk about both in the same way like the X-Men talks about like minorities and oppression. It feels kind of like Blade is kind of trying to get into that, but it's very self-hating. It's like, why does this dude never come to terms with who he is? But yeah, it was like created by the guy who also created Teen Titans. And as I recently learned, he like kind of put him on hold because he felt like he didn't want to make Blade one of those black Marvel comic book characters that are like, what's that job Turkey doing over there? You know?
Yeah, he recalled the character for a little bit. Yeah, I kind of respect him for that. Yeah,
got better. Yeah, it could make, I guess, a more acceptable black character. But yeah, he's like British in the comic. He's like a British biracial man.
That's right. He is British.
Trying to fight because his dad is from the same place like Dr. Doom is born. Is from
Latveria.
Yeah.
What the? Okay, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Sorry.
You know, it's like I have a comic book podcast called the Comic Book Kickback.
Whoa! We got a link. We got a link.
You know. Yeah, I'm like the movie is very much not that. Like they don't really bring that up at all. It's just like his mama is Sanaa, and Deacon Frost is who changed them, and he feels conflicted about being a vampire, and he never really digs into that. He's just like, fuck these suckheads, even though I'm one of them. But you know, I guess because he can go outside, he's like, I'm not like y'all.
Without knowing anything about anything, I did hear that is kind of like the conflict of the third Blade movie, is that like eventually he could like release a virus essentially that would like wipe out all of the vampires, but that would include him, and so he's got to try to figure out like what to do in this scenario.
Yeah, and I know the rest of the Blade movies are pretty bad. So I mean.
Apparently, at one point, the vampires get so powerful they like start eating other vampires, and then they become like Reaper vampires. And then you like eat a vampire, then you also become one of the Reapers. So they start running out of humans to feast upon, and that's how GI kill them all at that point.
Well, I guess that's a good way to segue into how do we feel about the lore that is created within this movie, like the nightclubs, the vampire council, the sacrifice with the motorcycle helmets. Mm-hmm. That was fucking sick. I'm sorry I curse so much, but that was awesome.
Yeah.
I kind of also like the idea of vampires disintegrating into the sun. It felt very Sinners, having watched the two back to back. So I was like, yeah, no, it feels like a bonfire type experience. Very interesting that you could like, you know, block it off. I like to believe that we live in a world of magic and possibilities, and that we could very much be walking amongst vampires any day now. So to be in a club where they are just like raining blood, not my type of scene. People who are real diehard into the vampire life and would like to commit, I could see themselves walking in there and having a good time with casual vampires, and be willing to be sacrifices at some point. Not I.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I feel like that was the kind of thing that got me, because I felt like, you know, these vampires were just like kind of just existing and minding their business. It didn't really seem like they were terrorizing the city really in that way. I feel like it seemed everyone was pretty consenting to the fact, and Even like this club, it's like when it started raining down blood, no one was terrified. Everyone was like, yeah. So I was just like, it just seems like they're like living their own world and just like existing, and this dude is just hating. Like I feel like if he was like if they were terrorizing the city more, I would understand. But because they weren't, I'm like really side-eyeing Blade. But also I will say, like, even with like Sinners, I do appreciate when like vampire movies like allow themselves to be just that. Like, I hate when they try to make up like new powers and new rules for it. I'm like, nah, like if you're a vampire, you go out in the sun, you burn, you get sprayed with holy water, it burns, silver, it burns. I don't think you necessarily need to like recreate the wheel when it comes to vampires. So I did appreciate that. And, I do like this aesthetic of the movie. I think this movie is mainly aesthetic and not really anything else.
Vibes as hell.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, even whenever, if they ever do actually go through with this Blade remake, I would appreciate it more if they leaned into that aesthetic more. But like bring in like black punk, black alt music, like bring in the Paris, Texas, bring in the Rico Nasties, bring in Doechii. Like, I am like interested to see like where they take this remake, because I feel like this movie gave us a lot of aesthetic. It is, you're right, it's pre-Matrix. I just want a better plot for Blade, and I would like him to not be so self-hating. And if he is self-hating, I would like to see him work through this.
I do have one thought about this. Maybe the vampires are like causing a little bit of trouble, because if the pure blood vampires, quote unquote, those who somehow were just like they all were born vampires, but it's like, who was the first vampire? I don't know. But I think maybe part of them like hating on like the bug bloods is like because they have to like turn them into somebody. So like if you are getting rid of humans, like that is a problem. Like, it's one thing if we like drain them, but it's a whole other if you start turning them into vampires, because now that's just more mouths to feed. And now we can have more people like Blade who probably are like dwindled down in the gene pool, because clearly your daddy was already a half vampire, half person, and your mom was a person that turned into a vampire. So that's how you became the quarter vampire. So you're resistant to the sun, you're resistant to these things, but you still have all the superpowers. So I'm just like, they're probably like, hey, you messing up the gene pool over here. Like, you're just basically giving out
eugenics. They're like, hey,
yes.
The eugenics in this movie was very aggressive.
Yes.
So I'm like, in their mind, they're just like, the mixing of the races is a problem. You handed out superpowers, vampire superpowers that only we can do. I mean, same thing in House of Dragons, where they're like Targaryen on Targaryen. We can only have so many dragon bat riders. These are special to our genes.
Lots of black women with white men in this movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Because it's the 90s. What you mean? That's how they bring in the white audience,
I feel like that's more of a now thing. Now all these indie directors love now they're Manny Pixie girls as a light-skinned girl.
Yeah, it's still the same thing. It's like, this is how we bring in a different audience. This is the open door.
But I'll say, for lore things, I do like the little council of like kind of racist purebred vampires. And I like the idea that they are naturally born vampires, and I like the idea that they actually have some order, and they're like, no, we're not trying to. We do eat the humans, but we're not trying to beef with them. We're trying to do this very secretly. Like, we do have some fucked up shit we do, but we're not trying to cause some crazy shit that will fuck our whole thing up.
That was Twilight too. They had that whole council that was like, we got to pull up. If you are out here causing interracial species, occult children, we have to kill them.
Even see how crazy that sounds? Like,
yes.
It is crazy, and it is like,
this is why vampires keep coming up.
It's funny that, like, I don't know, it is funny that like It wasn't like they could have easily made Blade like a hip hop soundtrack, but it's a techno soundtrack, which also slaps. Like that opening song when they're dancing in the blood, was sick.
Hands
Love
up, hands in
the
the air.
Y2K kind of aesthetic, like the girl in all white who kind of looks like she's from Fifth Element. That was cool.
Yes,
a lot of white people in cornrows.
I was about to say, but also there's like 3 black people in this movie. 2.
Well, yeah, that's the other weird thing is that like this movie, the blackness is fully brought on by there's the main characters and there's the side characters, and there's a lot of black side characters that are unnamed
in the room.
But, yeah, like when they show up, like those guys, they're like extra bodyguards. Which at first I thought, like talking about lore, I thought so in the opening scene, there's like a blood party and this guy who's gets invited to it by this other girl thinks he's gonna like be making out with her or flirting with her at this like kind of like sexy rave party, and it's a blood bath party where they pour blood on everybody and lick it and kill the people there, which that's a reason to stop it, I think.
They seemed like they was having a good time.
Well, the guy was not. He was about to get eaten. And then Blade shows up, and then different techno music plays, and he kills them all, and it's awesome. It's really silly and awesome. But
I love a DJ who's like, I have to go down with the money,
no, absolutely. And honestly, his little headphones with lights was pretty sick.
It was.
But I thought like the other black guys that showed up with sunglasses, I remember thinking this last time too. But I remember thinking like, oh, these are like other people that work with Blade that are also vampire hunters, and they were coming in with Uzis to stop it, but they were just going to attack Blade. But I was like, that would have
been cool.
That's just me writing a better story. Just kidding.
Yeah, because the story is not there. I'm just like, it's weak.
It's not.
This movie is
mainly
it's not.
Aesthetic. I'm not even. We're not here for the fucking story. We're here for some motherfuckers always want to ice skate uphill. It's like, what does that mean? Nobody said that ever and after.
Also, just so sad to be a vampire slaying vigilante and still have to wear a bulletproof vest because everywhere you go, cops are still going to shoot you. That is the most wild thing about this movie to me, and I'm glad they had to address it at the very beginning because it's just going to continue to be a problem.
Yeah,
and he's talking like this the whole movie. What you talking about? Nah. He gets shot. He's like, motherfucker, are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah.
You see me with vampire in hand, gun to vampire, and you shoot me? What did I do?
I also appreciate, like, with Wesley Snipes' character, with Blade, and how they portray him in this movie, like, the trench coat is a cape. It's their excuse to have, like, a cape. They're trying to be like Batman a little bit. And, like...
Not Dracula.
I don't know. I do, like, the hard cuts where you just kind of see him, like just the end of him. Like, you just see him, like, move his, like, little trench coat, and, like, when the police do show up and you just see him, like, climbing through the building and his trench coat's like following him. I don't know. It was nice and comic booky in that way, and it did feel, especially like the grotesque parts, did feel like a '90s comic book, like those '90s horror, even like Todd McFarlane comic books, like the obese vampire.
Like Jabba the Hutt vampire.
Yeah, that was some 90s horror comic shit. Like that was some. I've seen so much stuff like that in those dark 90s comics. It was so gross, but it was accurate.
And this was because he was eating children.
You said he ate children?
Yeah, he ate like 10,000 babies, and that's how he became like this.
That's a lot.
That's something that would be in some stuff like that. Yeah, honestly, I was getting a little bit of like at some of the beginning. It felt like Spawn. If you guys seen Spawn, and we should watch and talk about that. It's not a good movie, I don't think, but it would just be interesting to talk about soon.
It's just great to talk about movies
since they've never adapted it. And it's such a very popular comic book.
Yeah,
or the comic book's probably more popular than the movie, even. But anyway, tangent. Any other thoughts on the lore and aesthetic and things like that? I was gonna say like the lighting, love the blue lighting, Twilight ass.
Yeah.
I do know that they designed a lot of the weapons specifically for this movie, which I thought was like really cool to see how futuristic that they were making them, even just like down to this whole katana curved sword.
That chops off your fingers if you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the car does look like the Batmobile.
It does.
But yeah, I just know they were really excited about like all of these like very sleek, futuristic, like you had to invent this new thing to get rid of this issue that was clearly being persisted. So yeah, shout out to the people who are thinking about living in the future, because we're still calling back to it.
Yeah.
And Chris Christoph. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, I also did some of the fight scenes were also like very cool, very dynamic, felt very comic booky. Like in that scene where they're like in that room where he's like, this is the vampire Bible, and they're like breaking through all that glass. I was like, that's really cool. And I did enjoy like that part of the lore of like having like these hieroglyphs like on the back of like people's necks, like when Karen's in that elevator and like those two people are behind her. I thought that was really cool. It's just like, yeah, I'm like, this movie looks cool as fuck. Like you can't deny that this movie looks cool as fuck. And I think this might have been like maybe the first superhero movie. I think maybe.
Well, it's the first major comic book movie by Marvel, not MCU, but like our Marvel movie that was successful, because there was no major Marvel movie, because obviously like Superman and Batman had come out and stuff.
Yeah.
But like Marvel, I mean, even the Marvel intro thing was not even a thing yet.
No,
that started with Spider-Man, I think.
Yes, and I think too, like, because I know that first Spider-Man is like directed by Sam Raimi, who is like traditionally like a horror movie director, and so there are like so many things in like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that has like this horror element of it, and I feel like I was seeing that in Blade, like you know, that like, oh, we can be like a little scary in these movies, because like Superman, like Christopher Reeve's Superman is not, there's no like horror feeling to that. Tim Burton's Batman movies, again, like there's like a weirdness to it because it's Tim Burton, but it's not horror. So it's like I do see Blade's influence, right? Like especially like into the Marvel universe. This is before like official MCU, but yeah, I'm just like, you know, there were parts that I'm like, wow, this looks like really cool. I was surprised that like the Blades, even though they're not really romantic through most of the movie, I was surprised that his like romantic interest was this black woman. That did shock me. If you had asked me the day before, I would have been like, yeah, I think it's a white lady. I was imagining Homegirl in the Bad Boy movies. Have you ever seen the first Bad Boy movie? Like, I would have told you that was who his
the Spanish girl
is. Yeah. I don't know her name, but the one that's in the first one, the first.
Doesn't she date Ryan Gosling?
But isn't it also interesting because like he was being flashback to his mom though, like he's thinking about her. So it's like,
right, which is like, how do you see this?
Well, so here's
your
my
baby.
thing. I think here's my thing. One, you know, it's weird vampire shit, but that's what I thought. I didn't see them having really a romantic relationship in the movie. I was kind of like surprised at that. They really don't have a romantic. It's so like I said to Imani earlier, till he bites her and she's like, don't stop. And it's like, whoa, wait. But I did see him seeing her as like, yeah.
I was hearing stop, and I was like, "Ooh, this is getting uncomfortable." I was like,
"No, it was even more." I mean,
please
it was
stop. He can't control himself.
No, she was like, "Don't stop."
Yeah.
It was very sexual.
Yeah.
It even said in the subtitles, "What's her name? Karen moans," and I'm like, "God, jeez." But
see, I was watching this by the poolside.
But I did.
There was a child in the background. I clearly was not thinking this.
But I was like, I kind of saw him seeing her as like I need to protect my mom again.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Her.
And like, yeah, he was mommifying her, but I'm thinking, I mean, in a way where it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like defend the whatever the shit, but you know what I mean? Like, I just felt I liked that they had kind of a friendship more so than anything else. And
yeah, because
he's not touchy. Again, autistic ass Blade is not flirty at all.
No.
He just
they don't even have a kiss.
They
don't kiss. They don't kiss at all.
They don't not. You're right. They don't.
And that's like a violent movie. They could have kissed. They could have fucked. He has more kissy time with his mom.
Yeah, that's like the sexiest part of the movie.
It's like
it is. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I really don't get that. That really, it was very Game of Thrones. And you know, people be there for that. Like people would be here for the incest. So maybe
I heard somebody say, I forget their name, but there was somebody I know that said, they said like, I enjoy an incest light, and I was just like, what the.
Yeah,
like in a show.
No,
not in
like
life.
in like White Lotus or something. They were like, I enjoy it.
But that's the thing.
From the outside, still disagree.
There are people
absolutely. I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying people like that shit.
I hear you, and to me, I'm just like hard no.
I agree.
Yeah, pass.
Like when it was popping up, and it's like Daddy Vampire Frost here is basically saying like he's in control of her, he's in control of them, but like still trying to pin the two of them together. I'm just like, this is giving like weird slave master vibes. Like I don't like it. Yeah, that's what it's bringing up for me. It's just like deep history of inbreeding for powerful purposes.
For sure.
That's what it was giving.
Could I ask Imani? Could I ask with the self-hating thing? Mm-hmm. Let me reverse it a little bit, because I feel like the problem here is, and now we're gonna get a little deep. Okay, we're gonna go a little fake deep here. The problem is, this is the one time, and we can go into like, well, who we would cast in a new Blade movie?
Mm-hmm. Dance of Ninjas.
Well,
British.
But here's my problem. Here's the problem. If we really want to go into like the right, you ever heard of ludonarrative dissonance?
All right.
Boom. So ludonarrative dissonance is like when like the story is telling you one thing and the craftsmanship of the art and the medium is telling you another. So like, I feel like there is maybe this like the symbolism of the mixed race thing is like kind of lost because he is dark skinned. Maybe I'm just thinking that, and like I don't know. I feel like let's say they do cast a mixed person or a light skinned person, whatever. I'm not even like trying to be like. You know, those motherfuckers that are online that are like, Miles needs to be light-skinned. And it's like, shut up, bro. Shut up. Shut up. Mm-hmm. But I'm more saying, like, because you can still be a dark-skinned mixed person. That's very, you know what I'm saying? I'd be darker than some full black folks. You know what I mean? But, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if it's written into the narrative more in a way where it's like, the self-hatred is more, the vampirism is like, the oppressive side of things to him. And he's like, I'm weeding this out. And the humanity side of things is the black side. And it's like, there's almost something where this, you know, he is the only black guy there and he's teamed up with this black girl. And then there's this black woman prisoner who's been sucked up into this thing. You know, there is this weird, you know what I mean? I'm not saying the movie's doing what I'm saying. I'm saying like, there could be a world where that sort of self-hatred thing, and maybe it's been done in better ways in comics and stuff. It has to have, because it's just like a weird thing to, you know, he's killing vampires and he's half vampire and he's black and it's like, and his dad is white. Because I think even his dad is explicitly white.
Yes,
like Deacon is not just like bit her, he like is the father. And that's why he's a baby. I think she's like, the whole thing is she just dies. In most things. But, you Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Possibly.
You know, I definitely feel like that's what it was meant to be. Like, I do think that they were trying to use his like vampirism or half vampirism as like this vehicle to talk about like being biracial and like these conflicting feelings of that, especially like in the time that it was written. Like, that was very, you know, if it was written in like, I think like the 80s, maybe the 70s or the 80s, and so it's
the early 70s was when he first came out, and
yeah. So this is like, you know, on the heels of like anti-miscegenation laws, and so I do think that like Blade was meant to be like in the same way that like X-Men is used to talk about like minorities and oppression and anti-Semitism and racism and ableism and all this other stuff. Like, I do think that's what they were trying to do with Blade. And so I think that's like where I like get the hiccup. It's just like, okay, even if like you're not trying to literally do that, right? Like, you're not trying to make him a biracial, like, even though he is, but you're in this movie, right? You're not trying to make him this biracial character. I just feel like that is like a gaping hole that we're not addressing. Like, he is still half vampire,
Yes.
You know, and it's like he has such a clear, distinct hatred for vampires, and it's like you're never addressing this self-hate, or like, you know, you're never. It's like, even for them, I'm like, you know, it's like, what's a slur for a coon? I'm like, Blade. You know what I mean? It's like, you see him come in, it's like, oh, he a Blade over there. Like, it's just like
the Daywalker.
It's
Daywalker.
Just like Daywalker.
Daywalker ass.
It's just like, you know, it's just like, that is the. You have to talk about that. So that's why I'm just like, you have to talk about it, even if it's not like a literal biracial man who is struggling with like both sides of his identity. It's like, that is the thing that you're supposed to talk about in the story, and we're not. So it just looks he just looks crazy. It's just like, oh my,
yeah.
But because like his other side is like a vampire, like no one is like, Blade, like, you gotta be yourself, you know what I mean? Everyone is like, yeah, vampires are evil, so we're gonna keep going with it. I think like in a remake, you know, if you are trying to stay true to the comics, I mean, you could easily cast him with one of these biracial British actors. I mean, there's so many of them. Like, you could easily use him for that. But
go to the Top Boy cast and find one of them.
Yeah, you know, you got Homeboy. What's the one that's on top right now? Aaron Pierre. It's like, you have Aaron Pierre.
I was thinking of Aaron Pierre. He's got the vampire eyes.
Rugged Rage.
Exactly. It's like you could like use him, or like the dude who was Bob Marley in that recent Bob Marley movie. You have
that would be a good one.
You have
what about Issa's boyfriend in Insecure, who's also in White Famous with Jay Farrell.
You're talking about the Samson? He's from like Houston. He's Southern, but
is he? I was like, because he's playing a British dude in White Famous now.
He's not British. But I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, the list is actually pretty long. If you like look up like top black actors right now, it's like most of those people are British.
They've been here.
So I mean, it's like you could easily do that, especially if you're going to be talking about like his father. Also, because it's like his father is really never, like, his actual dad is never brought up in this movie. We just have like Deacon Cross, who's the guy who turned him and is like a type of father, right? But if you were to talk about his actual father and like his actual mother, because that's also like part of his lore, is like he was born in a whorehouse, and he thought for the longest that his mom was like a sex worker, and he ends up finding out that like his mom wasn't a sex worker. She was hiding out at this brothel ran by this lady who is in this secret order. Like, you know, there's like all this other lore up there that we don't even touch in Blade. So I mean, that could like give the story more depth and more substance, and gives us more of a character arc, because this movie, like, Blade does not have a character arc at all. He remains the same. He's a straight line. He remains the same the entire movie.
Yeah. I wonder if the movie's really not trying to start a race war then, because
it's not.
Something I had also picked up on was that the comics also had like his mentor being an older black man. Yes. So I could imagine that it's like, okay, well, like, your mother was a black woman who was attacked by or attacked by this white vampire who is also now Yo Daddy, and you were thinking that he took her out. So now, like, not only is it like fuck vampires, but it's like fuck white vampires and their pure blood nonsense. And then I feel like if he had this like stronger, older black father figure that is like taking him in and also like out here killing mass amounts of vampires, like, and then he gets this black woman who he's like reminds him of his mom, but who also like sees the humanity in him, and she's also trying to save him. She's like trying to come up with cures so that way he doesn't have to survive on blood, but even though she's like, I will give my blood to like help you, like, then it just becomes this cluster of like, it is a black and white issue versus like a vampire issue. So I wonder, I did also hear that in casting they were thinking about like maybe making Blade a white person at some point, and director man was like, hell no, like I will give you the white man. What's his name? No, his mentor. We'll give you the man. He can be white.
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson. Yeah. I mean, I do like he is fun.
All, so I'm just like, ooh, your face, and I'm not memorizing names. I can see the face, and that's it. But they're like,
I think he died last year.
He did.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Chris Christopherson. Yeah, I think it's not trying to do anything overly serious. But it is weird how many layers are there just with the nature of like vampire lore in connection with like, and when you talk about it around black people, it just becomes that. I mean, Sinners. That's how Sinners was so easy to make those connections with the lore, with like, let me in and all this stuff. But I do think, one, I don't trust that the MCU is going to make a good Blade movie.
I don't either. The fact that they've had Mahershala on ice for the last 15 years.
They don't need it. Yeah, it's done. But if they, if a new Blade movie is to come out, what they should do, in my opinion, is be subversive again, and don't do the black leather. Don't do it. Do the green jacket. Do the yellow sunglasses. You don't gotta be jive, but like, do a little bit more throwback Blade. Make it a little more like, you can mix a little bit of both aesthetics. Maybe there's like an older Blade and a younger Blade. I don't know. I remember I thought of that one time. Not thought of that, but like Blade is kind of just like a moniker some dude's take or something. I don't know, but like
James Bond.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. And just be. The reason we liked Blade is not because it was like superb action or superb story. It's because it was just styled all over the place. The vibes were immaculate. Bring us great vibes.
Yeah, like literally.
He should be cool. He should be cool. We can change him up. But he should be cool, and that's it. He's got to be cool, and the vibes got to be immaculate. Don't give us the same vibes, because you can't match those vibes. It's not 1998, okay? We've gone through so many different things. You got to give us different vibes, okay?
Yes. Yeah, a new look.
But weirdly, we are in a Y2K like resurgence, so maybe, I don't know.
I know. I definitely think you can revamp it. Not necessarily black leather or like black leather plus more. I definitely think it can be revamped. Like I said, I really love like heavily leaning into like black alt aesthetic / like African inspired. Like I want to see just like like more texture, more just more to it, right? Because it is like looking at Blade now, like I was just like, damn, this suit is clunky. His vest is like got these huge fucking seatbelt buckles. I was just like, just make it more stylish for sure. And I do want a little bit more substance to the story, a little bit more substance to Blade. I don't necessarily I want it to be like in your face, like this is the metaphor we're using, but be more subversive with it, and give this dude a story, a personality, something. Give me something, and don't don't hire somebody with horrible accusations attached to them.
Okay, yeah. So, Imani, you want to get into that?
Like, he has a lot of alleged. I'm gonna hit you with them. Lots of alleged accusations of like domestic violence, like towards multiple famous A-list Black actresses. More than one. You can, if you Google it, it's free to Google and it will easily come up. But like, yeah, he's just horrible. He is allegedly horribly, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my cat is yelling in the corner. He is like allegedly like horribly violent. And he's had these accusations attached to him for a very long time, including when this movie was made, and people just ignore it. So like, just better people involved. We don't have to, he ruined Deadpool and Wolverine for me. I was just kind of like, why him? Y'all couldn't throw Mahershala in the outfit? Like, let him try it on one time? Like, it
was wild because I was watching Deadpool Wolverine. I was kind of bored the whole time, and then he showed up. And I didn't know anything, so I'm just like, hell yeah, Wesley Snipes is here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
let's go. I feel safe.
Halle Berry allegedly can't hear in one ear because of him. So I'm just
like,
God, let's do better.
He got real into those martial arts.
Seriously.
He got real into those martial arts. And, if you want to learn more about it, like, listen to... Jada Pinkett Smith's audiobook. She doesn't name names, but you can figure out who she's talking about in her book as well.
I don't know if you can see the stream, but we got some.
I see this green jacket.
Old Blade here. You don't want to know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm trying to go for. I want him to look like this.
That could be a Halloween costume, David.
I was a Halloween costume. I was both one year.
You were both Blades?
I did both aesthetics. Yeah, and there was, cool. Hold on, Blade, 90s. Yeah, this is him there.
I see.
And...
he looked like a white man in this cartoon. I'm not gonna lie.
He does.
He looked like a mixed bowl. He mixed.
I'll be like,
there's Morbius. This is Morbius.
Oh, that's Morbius?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is what I did this morning instead of rewatching Blade. I was getting deep into the Blade lore, and I was like, oh, okay. Blade has taken a whole journey across multiple universes.
I see.
A lot going on. Just to hype up some other people that have, I don't know if they have any accusations. I don't think they do, but is it Nabusha, right? Who plays Karen? Mm-hmm. She's awesome.
Where did she go?
Where the hell is Karen? Where the hell is Nabusha?
I was going to say that one of my favorite parts is Blade just like destroying this whole vampire ceremony temple and just looking up at her like, hey, let's get out of here. But, you don't see them get out of here. Because I also was like, are you going to expect her to run down 20 steps to come find you? Is she supposed to jog? You going like, he just started walking away.
I don't even think she's in the sequel though. Like, I don't think they ever bring her back.
I like that she died then, because it was also like, she said she could cure herself, but everybody said there's no real cure. So
I know she's in Dead Presidents, but I don't know I think that came out before.
I think it did. I think it did.
But like, she's cool, and she was like beautiful and actress. Fun to watch, and good and charismatic, and like she was like, I don't know, that scene where she goes in the elevator, it was good.
Yes.
Where is she?
Where did she go?
At?
I want to see her in more things.
I'm sick of this podcast. Every time we watch something, I'm like, where is this beautiful black woman? She's nowhere to be found. God damn it.
Yeah.
Black women go to all the time. And our hearts and our minds and imaginations as well.
Wishing her the best.
Oh, she's doing great. Karen, you did the thing, Nabusha, right?
You did.
Is that how you pronounce her name?
Let's find out.
Yeah, let me not be like talking crazy right now.
Mbouche.
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 That's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful black woman.
She is currently 55 and dancing.
Mbouche.
Well, shout out to Mbouche, right?
No, seriously.
Favorite part
she was
of the
amazing.
movie.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like her last movie was a 2018, A Talent for Trouble, and she was on the Chappelle Show in 2004.
Man. Well, I liked Chris Christopherson. Stephen Dorff was good. We liked Stephen. Stephen Dorff was having the time of his life, being a little freak bull.
Mm-hmm. He was with his little vampire clan.
Mm-hmm.
And very bold of you to turn vampire and decide that you will become the vampire god.
Right? Like, yes.
I guess somebody who was not self-hating, but well, also probably so, because then he went full vampire. It's just full the opposite direction of Blade.
Blade. Yeah. You know, and let's talk about that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, give me both. It's like, you know, it's like in Wakanda Forever. It's like, you know, you're going against Namor, but also it's like Namor kind of right, you know? It's just like, give me both stories. Let me see both sides. Bring in the Cougs. I'm tired of it. I don't want to give Ryan Coogler another superhero movie, but I'm sure
you know what's funny?
He would have it.
Speaking of Ryan Coogler superhero movies, we don't need to give him another one, but I was talking to somebody and they were like, everybody says he should make Blade. I don't think they should do another Marvel movie.
He should.
They were like,
I want to see a space romance.
They were like, someone was like, what if he goes over to James Gunn? What if he does something with James Gunn? And I go, if he does something with James Gunn, I think he should do. People are gonna be so mad at me. He should make Batman. He should make a Batman movie. He should be the one.
Yes, you know, make Batman
without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, and that's me saying I want the Robert Pattinson movies to continue with Matt Reeves. Even
those are great.
I even want them to cross. I want him to cross paths with Superman. But if they don't want to do that universe or whatever, Ryan Coogler could make a Gotham City that I would like.
I would like to watch. You know, he could do the what's his name, Jay Spock's Batman, where it's like Black Batman. I would also love to see like him do a Batman Beyond,
or Icon.
Or Icon, or Hardware. I love Icon or Hardware. Yeah, I'm just like, but you know, the Cougs, he don't need to do any more superhero.
He don't need to do all that. He
got it.
Let him make another original movie. He's gonna make another movie.
That's what I'm saying.
He can make him another movie about like fucking spies or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he is. I'm just like, I want to see anything he wants to do.
Sonny?
Black space romance. I want a black space romance. I want a black space romance. I want astronauts floating through space trying to figure out how they can live on dying planets together.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You seen Scavenger's Reign?
No.
Yes. You should.
There's a black character in that.
Played by Woomy.
Okay.
Woomy is the voice of the black woman.
It's really well made show. It's not necessarily that, but you could probably get some. You get whatever feeling you want to get from your idea, like aesthetically from some of that show.
It gets
and it's just fun animation.
It's
it's a little freaky.
Yeah, it gets a little nasty because they're on this
it's like
planet and be like, ugh.
What are they doing?
Yeah, it's like, ugh, I don't like how this stuff kind of moves. But, you know, it is cool, and it talks about, like, life and, like, what is life and, like, sentience and, like, it is wild.
Okay.
It is a wild watch.
Well, now that we're getting off, any other final thoughts about Blade? Anybody?
I'm glad it was made. I'm gonna leave it where it is.
I mean, I still appreciate it. It's not like the coolest thing ever made or anything. I do want to see more of the Blade character. It makes me, now seeing it again, it makes me want to read more Blade.
Yeah.
But I do want to see more motion picture content of Blade. Maybe even animation. Yeah. Why not that? Even an anime.
Yeah.
I would watch a Blade anime.
They have a Blade anime.
I think you're right. There was a Blade anime. Because there was that weird Marvel anime. Yeah, there was Marvel anime Blade. Because there was the Iron Man one, the X-Men one, and
they got all kinds of like comic animes now. I think there's like a Suicide Squad anime. think there's
But yeah, it came out in 2011.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, because remember there was like a Wolverine one.
Yeah.
Or like an X-Men one or something. There was, and I don't know, but he's like all tatted up, like kind of like Mike Tyson. He's bald.
Interesting.
Anyway, it's very, early 2000s coded, triple X coded. Any final thoughts from you, Sonny?
Yeah, I think Blade looks cool. I would be a lot more interested in finding out about the organization, because even them talking about like, oh, we robbed the people that we are killing, because that's how we fund this thing. So I'm like, tell me more about the organization. Like if it's an underground matrix, that sounds cool. Let me find out about the matrix that is also includes vampires. So I think that's like where we should dive deeper into it. Is the organization of an extermination of an oppressive power. But just like curious also of like where these like extermination ideas come from in each sides of these camps, and like who really needs to win this race for. Like let's lean into the eugenics. Let's highlight that actually. I would like to talk more about that. So yeah, I mean, Blade, cool concept. Yeah, I'm down to flesh it out more.
All right. Well, yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, follow us on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you for the editor. Every time you see a little lull or hear a little lull, just cut that shit. Okay. Anything you guys want to plug before we head out of here? This is November 21st.
My show, Discovering Blackness, will be happening at the University of North Carolina Greensboro. It's this for premiere. If you like in the area, go see that.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram at the Fade to Black Podcast. And let us know what you think about this episode. Like, share, subscribe, tell a homie, tell the villain in your life about this podcast. If you hate it, tell your villain, tell your enemy. If you love it, tell your homie. Listens are listens, even if you are hate listening. And if you disagree with us on Blade, let us know. We gonna stand firm in our beliefs, but if you disagree, go for it. Give us your best shot. I'd like to hear why you think that this movie is actually phenomenal.
Whoa! I didn't say it was bad.
I'm saying you are a fan of incest light. I feel like you need to release and let this be a note to release.
Yes, release the incest light. But I will say, this movie is dumb.
Sure,
but I love it. No, I don't love it. I like it.
I leave it where it is, It's cool.
Listen, that opening song will get me back every time. I will rewatch that opening fight so many times.
Yeah.
Get rid of the white man sunglasses. I don't think we need to repurpose them, though.
Listen. Sometimes some folks they're just trying to ice skate uphill,
Nonsense.
And with that,
goodbye. Goodbye, Blade.